explained to her that in Bible it explains that you should cover your head too.
Yeah.
She never heard about it.
Okay, no problem. Here's the verse. Let me explain the issue of covering at least the head in the Bible first, or did you want to?
Is that when Jesus came, right, for Christians, he took the whole Holy Scriptures and condensed it down into 2 laws.
What are the 2 laws?
Well, what those 2 laws were to have love for your neighbor.
Gotcha.
Your neighbor. So that means wherever you're from or wherever you are, you're supposed to love your neighbor.
Okay.
So if you love your neighbor, you're not going to kill your neighbor. You're not going to.
I hope not.
You're not going to steal your neighbor's wife.
Okay.
You're not going to take your neighbor's children. Like, these are all the things that you're not going to do out of love for neighbor. Okay?
Right.
Then he said that you should love your God with everything, your whole heart, mind, and soul. That
Is this in the Bible?
Yeah. It's in the
What verse are we talking about?
Well, right now, it does not come to mind.
So I was reading the Bible, and I mean, I can show you the verses.
Familiar with that verse? You know,
No, actually, I'm not. I mean, I do know some verse about loving thy neighbor, but I don't know of a verse that says that Jesus took all of the law and condensed it into 2 principles.
The most famous speech is the Sermon on the Mount. It's
Okay.
Matthew 5, and
But-
it goes all the way through.
But in it, he said that I came and I condensed the law of the past. Because from what I read from the Bible, Jesus said, I didn't come to do away with the law, but to rectify it. Is that correct?
That's correct. And
So
he
that means
divided
that-
it down to 2 laws.
But that's not, I haven't read. Can you show me where in the Bible he says I brought the law down to 2?
But I'll tell you what.
Okay.
If you like, I can come back. next
Please.
week.
Excellent.
If you would like.
Please, I would.
I'd be happy to show it to you.
Excellent. But what I'm at, I will be every Sunday.
Which version of the Bible are you?
There's a King James version.
The Gideon's Bible.
There's a King James.
And which version of the Bible?
Same thing. What version do you read from?
Do you like believe in the Holy
King James.
Scriptures?
What do you mean by believe in them?
Well, I mean, like, do you?
Do I believe there was a man named Jesus? Yes. Do I believe he got a scripture revealed to him? Yes. Do I believe that scripture's been corrupted? Yes. But I believe
You
there's,
have a Bible.
yes.
Okay. So, do you believe in the Holy Scriptures? Like,
So I believe the,
holy writings, or is it?
so I believe the Quran, the Bible, the Old Testament, and the Psalms of David were all from the same God. Okay? I believe that those earlier 3 have all been corrupted today. Only the Quran is preserved.
So here's what I believe. I believe a lot of people have the Bible, and a lot of people refer it to as the Bible.
Okay.
But in the Bible, it talks about it as being holy scriptures.
Okay.
Sacred scriptures.
Okay.
So if they're sacred texts, that certain people should be allowed to handle them, and certain people should not be necessarily touching those things because they're sacred.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it is. But
Why would a sacred text not be available to everybody?
well, it is available to everyone.
Okay.
But there are some people who should not be taking it in terms of using it as to weaponize it. Because it's sacred.
Not to weaponize it, but to read it, to understand it, to use it for guidance, to see if it's really still preserved or not. Like, let me give you an example, right?
To inspire with it.
Sure.
But not necessarily to challenge or to break down faith.
But to understand whether it's authentic or not, right?
Or to actually say that there's a corruption in it.
Why not? If there is.
If you say that it's corrupted,
Yes.
then the people who have, like, you have Jesus on here.
Yes.
So you're connecting Jesus.
No?
I'm just follow my thought.
Okay.
You're connecting Jesus to being a Muslim.
Yes.
Okay. So if you say Jesus,
Mhm.
then quote it from the Holy Scriptures,
Okay.
and you say that those words are good,
Okay.
but then you say the Holy Scriptures are corrupted,
Later on.
then you corrupt both Jesus and
No. So
because you
let me explain this to you, okay? Please just stay with me, okay? Let's say this brother of mine says at a dinner gathering that this person is a really good person. Okay? You with me? Are you?
listening.
Okay. So he's a good person. What he said is good. Let's say somebody heard him and somebody else heard him who twisted his words. They came and told me that he said that person's a bad person. That happens all the time. Excellent. Now, if I say that those words that have reached me have been corrupted, the person in the middle changed them, I'm not disrespecting him or the word he said. I respect him and I respect the original word he said. What I'm saying is somebody later on, no fault of his, corrupted those words, and what got to me in the end was not what he said.
Sure, that makes sense.
Excellent.
Excellent. That's
Excellent.
why I was stopping by to ask questions.
Excellent. I appreciate it.
So what I have noticed,
Mm-hmm.
I have had friends in the past. Well, I shouldn't say friends, but I've had
Acquaintances, yeah.
It's probably better. Who in the past have told me things based on what they understood. Like
Got it.
the person told me about the hair and how they needed to cover
Got
it
it.
up because the hair is like supposedly sensual or something like that. So it has
Sure.
to be covered. But now you're saying that's not accurate.
So let me give you a criterion to understand right from wrong.
The other thing that I wanted to ask, because I have like several questions.
Mhm.
In Christianity, or when Jesus came, he made certain that the women were taught right along with the men.
Okay.
The person that I met, she said that that doesn't happen. She said that the women are separated and the men are the ones who are instructed or taught or whatever, which doesn't fit with what Jesus said or what
I agree with. So let me
Why
explain.
does that still happen?
Sure, that doesn't happen, first off. We have a mosque here in San Diego. We have lessons. There are women there just as there are men there. They learn just as men do.
But
The
do they
Prophet's
pray
wife, yes, they pray together, but in separate areas. As the original law of Christianity was, as the Jewish tradition was, that women prayed separate. Even if you go today, can I finish? Please be patient. I listen to you. Okay. Even today, if you go to Israel and you go to the Wailing Wall, where the original Jews who have been worshiping for thousands of years, men and women are separate. It's not because one is inferior or one is kept away from it, but rather what it is that a time of prayer is a time of focus on your Creator. You don't want to be distracted by trying to have a natural urge, which everybody has naturally, to impress the opposite gender.
Women could be superior to men.
Sure, in knowledge, no doubt. There is. Let me explain this. The wife of the Prophet. Let me just one last thing.
What's your name?
My name is Uthman.
Uthman?
Yes.
Uthman?
So the wife of the Prophet,
want this
she was one of the greatest scholars of Islamic history, greater than any scholar alive today, and she was a woman. Her name is Aisha. She could read, she could write, she narrated. One of the top 5 narrators of hadith is Aisha. So just to let you know that what your friend told me is incorrect, and here's evidence for it.